Today guys, I'm going to teach you how to retreat as a samurai. Now we're working in samurai arms, armor and the tactics of warfare, and I'll show you the page numbers in a minute and I'll show you the scroll it is. But some people would say samurai never retreat. Well, they do, so let me show you how it's actually done. The scroll we're working from today is called Heiki Yoho. So you can see there, it's basically military or soldier duties, important ways or points, so pivotal ways. Okay, so the pivotal ways of military soldier duties. This scroll was written by Natori Sanjuro Masazumi, known as Isui Sensei, and he was the personal aide and military sort of gun poacher, if you like, or tactician for Tokugawa Yorinobu. So our army has actually found something in the front. There's reports come back, the scouts have come back, something has stopped them from wanting to go forward. The Taisho, the commander, has said, let's retreat. We need to retreat out of here. So what should they do? So you have a position called the Ikusa Bugyo. Now, Bugyo can be translated multiple ways. It's like minister, magistrate, commander. Now, these two guys are extremely important. They're one of the 6 most important people in the army outside of the Taisho, which is your 6 Bugyo, your 6 ministers of war, or your 6 ministers, I should say. You get password ministers and flag ministers. You get different types of ministers, and these two are your war ministers, war commanders. So step 1 is these guys will move around and keep everyone in check. They will make sure that people are where they should be and they're not starting to get out of order. So you see they start to ride up and down the lines to make sure that nobody's moving away from the position that they should be in. Now the next step that's going to happen is they're going to make a shingari, a defensive line. So the shingari is actually volunteer people or the harder people, sometimes the vanguard, who go forward and create a forward line to stop anybody running and attacking. So now we have our shingari. There they are, the forward line of the rear defense. This gets complicated because we use the word rear and forward. Remember, the army was going forward, but now they are going backwards. So the people who are opting for shingari, which is a really prestigious place to be in because you're at like the height of danger, those people there will move to the front of the rear moving action. Keep that in your mind. People sometimes ask me, where is the Kuden for Natoryu? Here is the Kuden. Commentator 1, commentator 2. Isui Sensei says means this is the main school teachings. Kuden, Kuden. Sometimes we have 3 or even 4 sections of Kuden. But here are the Kuden for the diagram Kuden for actually what you should be doing here. So we have 2 main different ways. We have kuribiki and kurikomi, okay? This is the second version, but we'll get onto that in a minute. At the minute, we're on kuribiki. So here we are. So this is called phased withdrawal. So this is about withdrawing in phases. So number 5 will go down, number 4 will go down. You see what I mean? They withdraw from the back here. So you got your first troop, second troop, third troop, fourth troop, fifth troop, and number 5 or 4, whoever's at the rear, starts going back first. So basically, this one moves back first. So they'll turn, retreat, or move backwards, however they're taught to move backwards. They'll come all the way back like that. As you can see, they've moved back once. Remember, these guys are running up and down the lines to check everybody is okay, to make sure nobody is moving out of space. So they've moved back 1. Now these guys have moved back. So we've actually created this space now. So then these guys move back very quickly. Obviously, this would all be done in formation as an individual. So they move back, then they move back, etc, etc. So as you can see, move back, move back, move back, move back, move back, with these chaps up and down the lines, checking, moving around, making sure everybody is okay. And that is called kuribiki, which is phased withdrawal. And that, the shingari then, will start to come backwards. They will start to move backwards in retreat. to make sure that nobody's doing a surprise attack coming in from this way. They'll use all their skills to stop any, even cavalry coming forward. The Shingari might also have people on horse. It's not about who's on horse and who's on foot. The point is the Shingari there create a blocking line for that. Now this is the main option for when you're on open ground, but you're being threatened from the front, so that you can move back to a position where you can reassess and move out properly. You've got to understand here that this is with masses of men, lots and lots of men, and they will all turn around and march the other way and then reform up and create different formations. This is only the first step. This is simply getting out of the way. Now, the next one we're going to deal with is Kudikomi. So Kudikomi is this, and the idea is that your army is in a position where it has got obstacles on either side, not necessarily cliffs or anything like that. It's just like muddy fields, bushes, anything where samurai are going to get entangled. And if you've ever worn samurai armor in outdoors, it gets entangled very quickly into things. So this is where suddenly you're going through. Remember, this isn't like a ravine or anything like that, even though it could be. The point here is that you don't want your samurai going left or right, because they're going to go into marshy fields, muddy bogs, and that's what the enemy are looking forward for. They're looking for you to go into the wrong area. Bushes, bogs, difficult terrain. Remember, they've been following the teachings of Sun Tzu. So for this, we're going to use the teachings of Kudikomi, which is basically tucking your people in. So what we need to do is follow this maneuver, even though it can go left or right. But the idea is we're looking to retreat backwards. So the line goes backwards, keeps going backwards till you find somewhere to move in and you can spin out of it. Step one is we need to block the enemy. But in this situation, we use Ganko. Now, Ganko can be done in multiple ways. Now, remembering at the front here, most likely going to be archers or people with muskets. And the idea of people of the enemy have got to come into like a death trap. It'll be like peppering with fire. But you can also do Ganko all the way across. And this is especially correct for gunnery. So what you have is a single line going across at an angle, and it gives you more guns per sort of meter, if you like. If you're that way, you can only get, say, 30 guns in. If you're this way, you'll get 45 guns in, or you can V-shape it, or you can V it out like that. It totally depends on the captain's whim of the day. Not whim, but his assessment of the day. But they are your Shingari, and they are in the formation of Ganko. Now there you see Kudikomi. Okay, Kudikomi. Now the Kuden tells us there are multiple ways to do this. You can extend it like this. So the point here is that we've got sections on either side, just like here. But remember that, imagine that as a long section of like fields on either side. You can find hard patch of ground, keep going back, find another hard patch of ground, give yourself some space. Everybody starts filing out. So if you do it in a single straight line, people start tripping over each other. Maybe they'll be rushing. You need to control these people, give them space and let them come back. Because remember, you've got to turn like thousands of people around or hundreds of people around. So remember as well, we've got the Ikusabugyo going up and down each side to make sure. Now, what we are unaware of is how they would create this line, whether it's a single line or whether it's the troops in, like, say, 5s or 10s or 50s. So this would all depend on the amount of land you've got. If it's very small and you've got less men like this, you would do it in a single file. And then you get to here, and the question becomes if they cross the line that way, or if you get to this sort of area, tuck people in, and then the bottom half start coming away, and then they form the next hoop. So there's a few questions still left to be answered. But on the whole, Ganko, Kudikomi. Sections moving back, Kudibiki. Kudikomi can go 1, 2, 3. It has multiple ways to do it. The actual lesson here is to make sure that your men are not just coming back en masse and tripping over each other. They're being controlled either side by the Ikusabugyo. They're being protected by Ganko, Shingari in the formation of Ganko, and that they're finding nooks and crannies to come back into to let pressure off so some more can go, and then the pressure comes off, pressure builds up, more can go, and it's almost like pressure stoppers to stop everyone sort of hitting each other and then ending up in a running route. So remember, and this idea that samurai never retreat and all that, they did, and they legged it at times, literally full pelt legged it. And there's stories of people like Tokugawa Ieyasu actually crapping in his pants in battle because, you know, in fear of them dying. There's this idea that, you know, the samurai would never take a step back is just not true. They have many, many ways of actually retreating. Just out of interest, we've got my bookmarks here, which is How to Be a Modern Samurai. I've got some of these. I might try and get these. If people want some, just pay for the postage. You can email me, I'll send you some out. As long as the postage is paid for, they're free. But obviously, I've got to buy the envelopes and get all the postage together. But just in case you want one, I've got a few of these to give out. And we've been working from this book, the Book of Samurai, Samurai Arms, Armour and the Tactics of Warfare, the Collected Scrolls of Nato-Ryu. It is the second book in the series, but you don't need to buy the first one first. You can go straight for this one. Each one is an individual scroll. They do build as a whole school. And if you're interested in joining us at Nato-Ryu and studying like this, just simply go on Facebook and look up Nato-Ryu Hub and look for a man called Andrew Throwburn, and he will help you through the training. We actually have full instructor courses in this type of thing. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoy that type of thing. I not finished painting the models. I don't think I will do for years. I only get a very occasionally. It's like a Sunday. It's actually All Saints Day today. It's 1st of November. So I just thought I'd do a quick video for you because I've, for the first time, got a free day to do not much. So I thought I'd do something about samurai, because my life's that interesting. So there you go. Right, enjoy. I'm looking forward to your comments below, guys. Let me know what you think. These are the tactics of Nato-Ryu.